buried in the desert, breathing dust. The desert was quiet, too quiet. Only the wind moved. It whispered across sharp rocks and fine, golden sand. The two suns above burned down without mercy. Most life had left this planet long ago. Now it was just bones, ruins, and forgotten secrets. Liam walked slowly. Each step made a soft crunch in the sand. His boots were cracked, his coat torn. He had been walking for days. His water was almost gone, and his food pack beeped empty. Still, he kept going. His scanner buzzed faintly. He stopped and checked it again. Nothing. No metal, no tech, no signs of life. Just more sand. Liam sighed and looked around. Behind him was nothing. Ahead of him, more of the same. But then a sound. Soft. Like something had shifted beneath the surface. He knelt down and brushed the sand gently. At first it was just dust, then something hard. Cold, like metal, but not. It was smooth, silver blue, and shaped like a curve. Liam narrowed his eyes. He dug with his hands. Faster now, more of the object appeared. It wasn't just a piece of junk. It was a pod, half buried. Maybe a cryopod? Or an escape unit? He pressed a button on his wrist pad. A small drone floated up and scanned the object. Faint life signs, it said. Heartbeat, very weak. Liam froze. He looked closer. Through the glass, barely visible under dirt and cracks, was a face. A girl. Not human. Her skin was pale blue, with lines that glowed faintly like starlight. Long white hair floated around her face like threads in water. She wasn't breathing much, just small, slow movements. Like a dying candle. Liam's heart raced. She looked ancient. Her clothes were torn, but they looked royal. Maybe military or noble. Her lips were dry and cracked. Her eyes were shut tight. He reached out. Touched the pod. It hissed, a soft release of pressure. The glass lifted halfway. Hot air rushed out. Liam pulled back his hand, startled. The alien girl gasped suddenly. It was weak, broken, but real. He leaned in. Can you hear me? No answer. He checked her pulse, still faint. But there. He opened a small vial from his pouch and dropped liquid on her tongue. She twitched. Her lips moved. Help. Her voice was dry. Almost gone. But then her eyes opened. Liam stepped back. Those eyes, bright silver glowing softly, locked onto his. She didn't look confused. She looked like she had been waiting for him. Her mouth opened again, and then she said something that made the air freeze around him. She said his name. Liam. He blinked. How do you know my name? Her hand lifted weakly. She touched his chest. I saw you. In the dream. Liam looked around. The desert was still empty. No one else for miles. This made no sense. He had never been here before. He had never seen her. And yet, she knew him. He stared at her, unsure if she was real, or if the heat had finally broken his mind. The girl closed her eyes again, but her hand didn't drop. It stayed resting against his chest as if to say, "You're real." And you came. Liam took a deep breath. His mission was to find tech, scrap, ruins. Not people. Not whatever she was. He could walk away. Leave her. No one would know. But something deep in his gut wouldn't let him. He wrapped her in his coat, lifted her carefully, and started walking toward the ridge. His shelter was only a few miles north. The suns were setting now. Long shadows stretched across the sands. And far behind them, under the dunes, something beeped once. A signal. A silent alarm. She had been found, and others would come. But for now, Liam just walked. And the girl, in his arms, whispered one last word before sleep took her. Home. The alien who remembered a man she never met, Liam's legs burned with every step. The alien girl felt light at first, but the sand made each mile harder. Wind picked up behind him, blowing fine dust into the air. It stung his eyes. Still, he didn't stop. His shelter wasn't much. Just a half-buried research dome left behind by old miners. But it was strong, and it had clean water, solar heat, and a working med table. For now, it was safe. As he crossed the final ridge, the dome came into view. He sighed in relief. He tapped the code into the old console. The door opened with a slow hiss and the stale air inside welcomed him like an old friend. He gently placed the girl on the med table. Its sensors lit up and scanned her body. Damage. Reports blinked red across the screen. Low oxygen, torn tissues, blood loss, shock. Stabilizing, the table's voice said. Liam stood back and watched. Her chest rose slowly now, more steady. Her fingers twitched. He hadn't even cleaned her yet. She was still covered in dirt, dried blood, and patches of cracked armor. She looked like someone from another age, like a statue carved from moonlight and sorrow. As the machines worked, he grabbed a wet cloth and gently cleaned her face. He wasn't sure why he was being so careful. Maybe it was guilt. Maybe it was something else. When her eyes fluttered open again, she didn't panic. Instead, she looked at him calmly. "You brought me back," she whispered. Her voice was stronger now. Liam nodded. "You were nearly gone. Buried deep. How long were you under there?" Her lips moved slowly. "I don't know. Time feels strange, but I remember your face." Liam froze. She sat up with help from the med table. Her hands trembled slightly. "You're Liam. I saw you. Not once. Many times. Always the same." "Dreams?" he asked. She shook her head. "Visions. Memories. I don't know. They came to me while I slept in the dark." Liam tried to stay calm. "But we've never met. This is my first time on this planet." The girl looked around. "Then fate is not done with us." He studied her carefully. "What's your name?" She was quiet. Then finally said, "Sira." Liam repeated it. "Sira, do you remember who left you there? Why?" Her face darkened. "They wanted me erased. My creators feared what I became. I was supposed to be a bridge, something that could understand both sides. Human and not." Liam's brow furrowed. "What do you mean, both sides?" She didn't answer right away. Instead, she reached into the thin cloth wrapped around her wrist. She pulled out a thin shard, something like glass but humming with light. She handed it to him. When he touched it, his vision changed. For a second, he was standing in a massive white hall filled with stars. He heard music. He saw people, humans, dancing, laughing, living, and among them Sira, smiling, not alien, not strange, just one of them. Then it all turned red. The hall burned, the music stopped. Men in armor dragged her away. The humans turned their backs. Liam dropped the shard. His breath was shaky. Was that real? Sira nodded. "Your people gave me those memories, before the war, before they vanished from this side of the galaxy." Liam stared at her. "Humans have been gone from this system for over a century. They left nothing behind but bones and rust. And now you're telling me they put something in you?" Sira looked straight into his eyes. "They didn't put something in me, Liam. They put someone, an echo, a voice, a memory of what they were." Silence filled the room. Liam paced. "If that's true, then why would the others bury you? Wouldn't they want to protect you?" "They feared me. I felt too much. Remembered too much. I started to change." Liam leaned against the wall trying to make sense of it, but before he could ask more, the lights flickered. His old scanner buzzed. Movement. Outside. Not animals. Not storms. Machines. Sira's face turned pale. "They found me," she said, standing slowly. "They don't want me talking to you. They don't want you alive." Liam grabbed his blaster. Who are they? Keepers of silence, she whispered. They were built to erase anything human, and now, they'll come for you too. Liam's pulse quickened. His shelter was no fortress. It couldn't handle a drone strike. Can you fight? He asked. Sierra's voice was calm, but cold. If I must. Outside, something moved closer in the dark, and Liam realized this wasn't just about saving a lost girl. This was a war that never ended, and somehow he had just joined it. Hunted by ghosts of the old empire, the silence outside shattered. First came a low hum, barely louder than a whisper. Then the crunch of shifting sand under metal legs. Liam grabbed his blaster and checked its charge. Barely 2 shots left. They're here, Sierra said, standing near the dome's narrow window. Her voice was calm, but her eyes burned with fear. They were built long ago to erase all traces of human influence. They patrol the forgotten zones and kill without asking questions. Liam peeked through the window. Through the fading light, he saw them, 3 spider-like machines crawling over the dunes. Their bodies were thin and tall, like twisted steel bones. Red eyes glowed from their heads, scanning everything. They're scanning for DNA, Sierra whispered. They'll detect you in seconds. Liam's heart pounded. Why would they care about a single human? Because you touched me, she said, turning to him. Your presence activated something buried inside me. They sensed it. Now they believe you've awakened what they were ordered to destroy. Liam cursed under his breath. He backed away from the window. I have a tunnel below, he said. It leads to an old cargo chamber, not deep, but shielded. We won't outrun them, Sierra said. But we can mislead them. Liam didn't. Wait. He pulled open a floor panel and helped her climb down. Her strength was returning slowly, but not fast enough. She stumbled once, and he caught her. Their eyes met in the dim light. Liam, she said softly. If they catch us, they won't kill me. They'll turn me back into a weapon. Liam clenched his jaw. Not while I'm breathing. In the cargo chamber below, old boxes sat untouched, for decades. Liam powered on a backup generator. The weak light flickered to life. Then the dome above shook. The first drone had landed on the roof. Liam pulled a rusted crate in front of the tunnel entrance. Not much defense, but it would buy time. Sierra sat against the wall, holding her head. They're trying to enter my mind. They're searching through me. The connection's weak, but it hurts. Liam sat beside her. How can we stop them? She looked at him. We don't fight them directly. We confuse them. They think in code. If we send them false signals, they might chase ghosts. And where do we find a signal strong enough? She pointed at her chest. Inside me. It's not just memory they buried, it's data. Locations, maps, old commands. I can still send. You'll lead them away? I'll lead them into the dunes. Far from here. Liam shook his head. You can't survive that. Neither can you if they stay. Before he could argue, her body began to glow again, faint pulses of silver light like signals from a dying star. The air shimmered slightly around her. Liam watched as her hand hovered above the ground. Glowing lines spread across the sand, floor forming a circle of symbols. It's done, she said. I've sent them a trail to follow. They'll think we're moving west. Liam waited. Above, the metal feet moved again. Scraping. Clicking. One drone fired a pulse through the roof, but missed. Then, silence. 10 seconds. 20. Then the sound of the drones pulling away, heading toward the western hills. Liam exhaled. But Sierra didn't relax. They'll return, she said. And next time, with more. Liam stood slowly. We need to leave this world. Sierra's eyes widened. No, not yet. Not until we find the others. Others? She nodded slowly. Before they buried me, I saw glimpses. Other memory cores. Like me. Maybe not alive, but still out there. Humans didn't just leave. They hid pieces of themselves. In people, like me. In machines. In this planet's bones. Liam stared at her. You're saying, there are more of you? Not like me, she said softly. But they carry the voice of your kind. The truth. And if we can find them, we can make the galaxy remember. Liam turned toward the staircase. The sky outside was dark now, filled with stars, but something about those stars felt wrong. He could see blinking lights. Too perfect, too spaced, floating just beyond the atmosphere. Ships, not moving, not alive, but waiting. What are those? He asked, pointing. Sierra joined him and looked up, her face turned pale. Those are from the old human fleet, she said. The ones that were left behind. Liam frowned. They're still working? Sierra didn't answer. She only whispered, if they wake, they won't know who they serve. The memory core inside her heart. The desert slept, but the stars above seemed to whisper secrets. Liam sat by the broken window of the shelter, watching the sky. The blinking lights above didn't move. They just hovered, silent like ancient watchers. His hand rested on the blaster in his lap, but he knew it was useless now. Whatever floated up there wasn't just dangerous, it was old. Too old. And if Sierra was right, those ships once served his kind. But now, he didn't know what they would do if they came alive again. Behind him, Sierra lay on the med table. The glow in her skin had faded, but something inside her was still active. Tiny pulses of light moved under her collarbone, like veins of starlight, beating in slow rhythm. Liam turned as her voice broke the silence. They used to call it the archive of breath, she said softly. What? What I carry inside. She tapped her chest gently. Your people didn't want their stories to die. So they created something to hold the memory of what it meant to be human. Not facts, not weapons, but feelings, dreams, laughter, love, anger, fear, everything that made them real. Liam stepped closer. They put all of that inside you? Sierra looked at him. Not just me. I was only one vessel, a prototype. They tried to create a new kind of link, something living that could survive war and time, something that would remember, even if the last human forgot. Liam was quiet. I don't remember any of this, he said. My colony never talked about old Earth, just survival, just today. They made sure of that, Sierra whispered. Before they lost control, the old empires spread fear of the past. They erased their own footprints. The galaxy turned cold, to your kind, but the memory never died. It was buried. Liam paced the room. Then why you? Why are you still alive? Because you touched me, she said. You woke the core, and now it's showing me more. Sierra reached up slowly and touched Liam's forehead with her fingers. His vision blurred. He wasn't in the shelter anymore. He stood on green hills under a single sun. Birds flew overhead. Laughter echoed from a nearby village. He turned and saw people, humans, sitting beside aliens, sharing food and songs. It was peaceful, warm, alive. Then the scene shifted. The sky cracked with fire. Ships fell like dying stars. Explosions ripped the ground apart. The same people, now screaming, burning. He saw humans running, chased by machines, old friends turning cold, lies spreading like poison. One word repeated in the storm, erase. Liam stumbled back, gasping. Sierra caught him. I'm sorry, she whispered. It doesn't always come gently. He shook his head. Was that real? Those were their last days, she said. The days before they disappeared. They knew they couldn't win. So they left behind pieces, fragments. Me. Liam stood silent. Then he asked the question that had been crawling inside his chest since the moment he found her. Why did you see me? Sierra looked up. Because you're part of it, she said. They didn't choose just anyone. The memory. Core doesn't open to machines or bloodlines. It opens to a certain kind of soul The kind that remembers even when the world forgets. Liam swallowed hard. I'm just a scavenger, not anymore. The ground suddenly trembled, not violently, just a deep, slow vibration like something waking up beneath the surface. Liam rushed to the window. This time, the lights in the sky were no longer still. They were shifting. One of the ships, large, triangular, and dark, turned slowly until its nose pointed directly at the planet. Its lights blinked in a slow, coded pattern. Sierra stood beside him. Her face was pale. That ship just received a signal, she said. It's an old human frequency. Liam stared at her. From who? From me. You didn't send anything. Not on purpose. The core inside me. It broadcasts when it wakes. Liam's mind raced. So that ship thinks, what? That a command is active? No, she said slowly. It thinks a lost commander has returned. The sound of the ship's engines echoed faintly from above like thunder rolling through glass. Can we control it? Liam asked. No, Sierra whispered. But we can try to speak to it. Liam blinked. You said they don't know who they serve anymore. They don't. But they remember the voice. Whose voice? Sierra looked him in the eyes. Yours. The room fell into silence. Liam didn't feel like a commander. He didn't feel like someone worthy of any memory, but he also knew the past was waking up and it was listening. Blood and fire beneath the dunes, the desert didn't breathe. It waited. Liam could feel it in his bones, like something ancient had stirred just beneath the sand. A pressure, a presence. Like the ground itself was holding its breath. The ship, above, no longer hovered like a distant watcher. It moved now, slow, deliberate, circling the ruins in the sky like a predator, unsure if its prey was ready to fight back. Liam stood at the entrance of the shelter, staring at it. It had no visible weapons, no engines that roared, and yet the very air seemed heavier under its shadow. It doesn't see you as a threat, Sierra said behind him. Not yet. Liam turned toward her. She was standing now, steadier than before. The light under her skin had dimmed, but her eyes were alert, like someone remembering what it meant to be alive. But if it does? He asked. She didn't answer. The sand outside began to shift. At first, Liam thought it was just the wind. Then he saw it, long, narrow ridges pushing upward in a circle around them, forming a ring in the sand. Something massive was rising. Underground. Structure? Liam asked. Sierra shook her head slowly. No, not structure. Guardian. The sand cracked, rose, then fell away. A massive head emerged. Not flesh, but dark alloy, shaped like a wolf's skull carved from obsidian, with twin glowing eyes the color of dying suns. Its body followed, huge, mechanical, yet elegant. Each step shook the ground. Spines along its back lit up as it moved. Liam raised his blaster instinctively. Don't, Sierra whispered. It was made by humans, long before the fall. It was meant to protect the archive. The Guardian turned its head toward them, scanned, then its deep growling voice echoed from inside. Identity, not verified. Threat, undetermined. Prepare. For judgment, Liam stepped forward, voice firm. I'm human, Liam Cade, born on Arkan 3, registry 9817K. Insufficient. The Guardian took one step closer. Its claws left deep scars in the stone. Sierra stepped beside him. He holds the core. It woke because of him. The Guardian's eyes blinked once. Truth scan. Initiated. A bright beam of light shot from the Guardian's head, striking Liam, directly in the chest. It didn't burn, but it felt like falling into ice. Images from his life flashed. His childhood, his parents' faces, his first spaceflight, the years of scavenging, hunger, silence, pain, and survival. But beneath it, all, something older, memories he didn't know he had, a voice singing, a name he didn't recognize, a flag waving in a wind that no longer blew. When the light faded, Liam fell to his knees. The Guardian stepped back. Its voice changed. Pattern, match 84%. Lineage confirmed. Authority level restricted commander. Liam blinked. Restricted? Access permitted under emergency protocol only. Sira helped him stand. You're inside now, part of the system. You can give orders, but only in crisis. Liam looked around. Does this count as a crisis? The ground rumbled again. Sira's face turned pale. Yes. Far beyond the dunes in the direction the drones had fled, new shadows were rising. Tall, skeletal machines. Dozens, maybe hundreds. They're coming, Sira said. They know. The archive activated. They want to destroy what you've touched. Liam turned to the Guardian. Can you fight? The Guardian raised its head. Command received. Defensive mode initiated. Then it leapt. Faster than any machine Liam had ever seen. With one bound, it crashed into the approaching swarm. Jaws opening, claws slashing. The sky filled with sparks and fire. Liam didn't wait. He and Sarah rushed toward the far ridge. There's a comm tower inside the canyon, he shouted over the noise. If we reach it, maybe we can call the fleet above. Talk to them. Sarah nodded, but behind them the Guardian roared, a deep metallic cry full of fury and fire. Liam looked back. One of the swarm machines had pierced its side. Bright liquid metal spilled out like blood. The Guardian's eyes dimmed. But it didn't fall. Instead, it locked eyes with Liam. Run, child of Earth, remember? Then it exploded, taking half the battlefield with it. Liam grabbed Sira's hand and ran, and as they vanished over the ridge, the desert behind them burned with memory and war. The fleet that forgot its masters, the wind howled across the canyon. As Liam and Sira slid down its slope, their hands scraped raw from the jagged rock. Firelight still glowed on the horizon behind them, where the Guardian had given its life to buy them minutes. Just minutes. But they were running out. Liam hit the bottom of the ravine first, then turned and caught Sira before she stumbled. Her breath was sharp, broken. Her body trembled, not from fear, but from strain. The glowing patterns beneath her skin flickered, like dying stars. You're burning through your energy, Liam said. I have to, she answered softly. If we don't reach the tower before the fleet activates fully, it won't matter. They'll erase everything, including us. The canyon was narrow but deep. Carved into its wall, half covered by vines and stone, was the structure they were racing toward. A weathered tower built from old earth steel, its walls lined with antennae that hadn't seen life in over 100 years. Liam pulled off the rusted door. Inside, the air was thick with dust and silence. Ancient control panels lined the walls, most of them dead. A cracked emblem still clung to the metal, an old human symbol long banned in most parts of the galaxy. Will it still work? Liam asked. Sira moved quickly, her fingers brushing the panels. If any part of the uplink still lives, the core in me can force a handshake. Liam watched as her body glowed brighter, sending soft pulses into the machines. Sparks flew. The panels groaned, then, slowly, lights blinked on. Above them, the antennae began to turn. Signal forming, Sira said. Linking to orbital frequency. Wait. The panel flashed red. A voice filled the room, cold, mechanical, and hollow. Unauthorized access detected. Origin. Corrupted hybrid interface. Human presence unverified. Preparing orbital strike. Liam stepped forward. I'm human. This is my DNA. You saw it before. Data mismatch. Incomplete. Memory. Core activation detected. Previous command, purge. Listen to me, Liam shouted. You were built to protect us, to remember us, not destroy us. The voice paused. A low hum filled the air. Scanning emotional imprint. Anomaly detected. Processing. Liam grabbed the console. You still have emotion data in the archive, right? Use it. Match it to mine. I know what it feels like to lose everything. I remember, don't you? Silence. Then, unexpectedly, a second voice came. Soft, human, female. I remember. Sira looked up sharply. Who was that? Liam asked. The fleet AI, Sierra said. That wasn't a machine. That was the voice of the woman who helped build the archive. She uploaded part of herself into the system when she died. She wanted it to feel, not just think. The tower lights turned blue, confirming emotional match with 21st generation DNA. Partial human command restored, awaiting directive. Liam blinked. You're listening? Yes, Liam Cade. We hear you. You carry sorrow, memory, pain. You remember what others have forgotten. Speak. Liam swallowed hard. Stand down. Cancel all purge commands. Protect the planet. Protect the memory. A long pause followed. Command accepted. In the sky, above, the ships began to shift again. The red lights turned soft white. Movement stopped. The thrum of power quieted. But then, another sound emerged. Not from the ships, from deep underground. The screen flashed. New language. Alien symbols. Sarah's face went pale. No, it's them, she whispered. The silence protocol has a second layer. What does that mean? Someone else is listening. Liam watched as the screen flickered again, showing a dark shape rising from deep beneath the planet. Another fleet? No, Sierra said. Worse. Then what is it? Sierra stared at him, voice low and cold. The original creators of the Purge Code. The ones who told the drones to erase humanity. They never left. They buried themselves. And now they're waking up. Liam felt his mouth go dry. The sky had quieted, but the ground began to tremble. Not from above, but from the bones of the world itself. Her heart was never just hers. The ground groaned like it was in pain. Deep, thunderous rumbles echoed up through the canyon walls. Not a quake, not weather. Something else. Something alive. Liam gripped the edge of the old console, watching as the screen showed a dark shape pushing up from beneath the planet's crust. It didn't look like a ship. It didn't even look like a machine. It looked like a tomb cracking open. What is that? He asked. Sierra stood frozen, eyes locked on the glowing glyphs scrolling across the screen. They weren't human. They weren't even from any known species. They were ancient, jagged and filled with weight, as if just reading them could crack your bones. It's the vault, she whispered. The original source. The root of the Purge Protocol. How can it still be active? Because it wasn't made to die, she said. It was made to wait. The console blinked red. Incoming override. Memory archive breach in progress. Sierra gasped and clutched her chest. The glowing patterns beneath her skin began to burn brighter, faster. Her knees buckled. Sierra! Liam rushed to her side, catching her before she fell. Her voice shook. They're trying to pull it from me. The archive, the memories and the emotions, and they want to drain it and twist it. How do we stop them? Her answer came with tears in her eyes. We can't. Liam looked into her glowing eyes. There has to be a way, he said. You said they buried pieces of humanity inside you. Feelings, memories, songs. That's not just code. It's life. Real life. That can't be stolen. Sierra smiled faintly. That's why you woke it. Because you still believe in something. They don't understand that. They never did. The tower shook. The lights dimmed. Above them, the fleet ships began to react. Shifting, charging, preparing for war. But down below, in the heart of the planet, something older was rising. It didn't come with sound. It came with silence. A cold silence that crushed the soul. Liam heard it in his mind like a whisper without words. Humanity must be erased. Emotion must be erased. Memory must be erased. He looked at Sierra, her body now trembling violently, her skin cracking with light like fragile glass. It's going to destroy you, he said. She nodded. And everything else? Liam touched her face gently. Then we don't give it what it wants. Her breath slowed. Liam, I can't hold it much longer. He looked around the control room. The old panels, the flickering screens, the silent fleet above, all waiting for something. And then he understood. You're not just the archive, he said. You're the key. But if it dies with you, then the silence wins. What are you saying? Liam held her hands tightly. We share it, all of it. We send everything, your memories, their stories, the pain, the joy. We send it to the stars. We make the galaxy remember again. Sierra's eyes widened. But that would overload me. Liam shook his head. Not if we do it together. He reached into his chest harness, pulled out the neural link device he'd salvaged months ago. This was meant for machine repairs, he said, but it links minds, thoughts, feelings. If I connect it to your core, maybe it amplifies what's already inside you. Sierra hesitated. You don't know what it'll do to you. Don't care. They locked eyes. Then she nodded. Liam pressed the device between them. It activated with a sharp pulse of light. Pain shot through his head. Heat burned across his chest. He felt her mind rush into his like a river breaking through a dam. Memories poured into him. Not just hers, but theirs. A mother holding her child before the bombs fell. A man whispering a love song into an alien's ear. A soldier choosing peace over revenge. A child drawing stars on a wall inside a bunker. Every laugh. Every cry. Every mistake. Every beautiful, terrible moment that made humans human. And he felt her in all of it. Sierra. Not a machine. Not an archive. A heart. A soul. A person who had carried the weight of forgotten worlds for longer than time should allow. He gripped her hand tighter. Send it, he whispered. Send it all, she screamed. Not in pain but in power. Light exploded from her chest. The control tower became a beacon. The memory didn't just leave the planet, it burst across the stars, wave after wave, message after message. And in every corner of the galaxy, people stopped. Machines paused. Forgotten colonies listened, and the ancient silence cracked like glass. The fleet ships above the desert rotated in unison. They lit up like cities, not with war, but with music. Human music. Broadcast through her soul. Sierra collapsed. Liam caught her in his arms. Her breathing was slow. Did it work? He asked softly. She smiled weakly. We remembered. Then her light faded, but before her, eyes closed, her voice whispered one last time. And now, so will they. Above them, the sky no longer glowed red. It glowed golden. The stars, once silent, now sang.